We're back, and good to see you guys again. I'm glad you're paying attention to the video. Something I didn't mention in the first one is at the end of this, there's going to be a exit ticket that you're going to have to write up about these different topics. You know, one of them is going to be salt, the other one's going to be with the desert and geography. You're going to have to tie everything together. All right, so I got this question at the end, so be paying attention. African history. It is huge. It is challenging. It is a lot of people. So African history is made up on number one, the continent I showed you. You know how big it is now. It's gigantic. Then you have close to 3,000 different ethnic groups and close to 2,000 different languages. So you think about it, and then you tie in there's a written and a oral tradition. You have all these different elements from all these different groups over all this time. It's very complicated. It's not like we're dealing with one or two different groups that are warring with each other or arguing. It's thousands, and that makes it very, very complex. So here's a little map to give you an idea what I'm talking about. These are the different ethnic groups, and it's really, really challenging. But the part we're going to look at is just up here. We're going to be looking up here, and our focus is going to be on trade, economics, innovation, and a few other enduring issues that I'm going to bring up later on. So the desert, that's our focus, right? The Sahara, this gigantic desert, it's 3,000 miles long, roughly the width or length of the United States, from California to New York, and it doesn't rain. So what are you going to walk out your door and say, I'm going to cross the desert today, I got to get somewhere? You're going to take your life in your hands. Just stepping out the door to do that, to embark on that type of journey, you very well have a high likelihood of dying unless you have support or you have something that's going to get you across. Now, there's no railroads, all right? There are no, cars. There's nothing like that, okay? So how do you get across? It's 100 degrees in the day. It could be 30 degrees at night. How are you going to get across that? The camel. Okay. The dromedary is a way of saying camel, and people came up with it. So an innovation is like an idea or a way of solving a problem. And it's not technology, but maybe the saddle might be technology. We could talk about that. But that's how they decide to get across. They come up with this idea that says, hey, we got this animal that can really handle this. So what makes the camel special in desert travel? The value of the camel is not only confined to its high adaptation to severe desert conditions and its regulation of heat and water via its sweat glands, its ability for long distance travel of about 48 kilometers per day and its high carrying capacity, 240 kilograms, make it a ship of the desert. It's a cool name. In comparison with the load capacity of horses, donkeys, and mules at roughly 60 kilograms, and indeed the camel's lifespan of 50 years surpasses that of the donkey and the horse. So the camel is an amazing creature. It's able to preserve water. It's able to carry a lot. It doesn't say really on here, but the carrying capacity, 240 kilograms, I know it to be 500 pounds. Okay. They weigh about 1,000, so they're able to carry 500, a little bit more depending on the size. So the camel is going to be the way that they are going to take items across the desert. Now, what items are they going to be carrying? That would be the next question. Salt. Salt. What makes salt so valuable? Why was salt valuable? Well, there's a number of different reasons. And let's look at a couple. So, first thing we're going to see is preserving meat. Now, what I mean by preserving meat is it doesn't rot. So, you take meat, they put salt on it, they dry it out, and it preserves it so it can last for a long time. Why is that important? If you're going to run out of food or you're not going to have a crop, you have a reserve. Without the reserve, you starve to death. So having salt to preserve the food is very important. People are going to pay big money for that. Seasoning. This is life, right? We want our food to taste good. So salt helps. It's a seasoning. It's a sign of wealth in some countries. Having salt on your table and how it's presented can be a sign of how much money you have. Health reasons. Your body needs it. We're going to get, that's kind of the following part as well. So animals need it. Living creatures need salt. Religious and cultural reasons.